too, because we're moving right into something that's very powerful. I want you guys to write this down.
Okay.
Globalpriority.org. That is GLOBALPRIORITY.org. Globalpriority.org. And this is, I'm excited about this.
This is new, John. This is not even complete. When I go to the site today...
Well, where's Dan? It should be, he's clicking away back. So I'm coming. He's clicking away back.
Dan's building. As we're talking, Dan's building.
Dan, I saw him sneak in and through the door there.
That project is still a work in progress.
But I'm excited about it.
Okay?
I'm excited
so don't get all thinking that's the way our site ultimately will look. But the mechanics are there, and you can go to the site, and you can simply register your name and email up in the top left.
Left-hand corner, submit your name and email.
And what
you get tip of the week. Who coached you on that?
Oh,
Coaching board, fired up.
The champion. Okay, so you can go there. You'll get a tip of the week. It'll be based on a topic of principles and values. But in addition to that, you can go into the site and go to the Principles and Values tab, and you'll click down and you'll see several different topics of principles and values.
There's 40 of them, right?
Yeah, there will be 40. I think there's 20 up right now. And these principles and values are designed not to be taught, but to be caught.
Say that again?
Not to be taught, but to be caught. And the way you're going to do that is you simply take one of these pages. Actually, there's two pages.
This is something that's perfect for this day and age, right? Pressure.
This one is perfect. This topic here is on pressure.
Pressure. Principle of the week, and this is powerful. Without pressure, there wouldn't be progress.
That's right. Now, what's really cool, the other side of that is you have pressure, but you also have stress. Stress is a negative. Stress causes breakdown of our body. Stress causes problems within our relationship. Stress is a reactive measure. Pressure, on the other hand, is positive. It's with us taking a proactive approach. It's with us taking an action step to do something and to grow, to progress. And that's all about being a proactive leader versus a reactive leader.
So let's talk about, actually, Global Priority has been with Jerry Anderson.
Our friend Jerry Anderson is a businessman who is passionate about sharing these principles and values.
There's some amazing stories in
amazing.
In Mexico, El Salvador?
In Colombia.
Colombia.
In Guatemala, the Dominican Republic, Mexico, and then scattered in little pockets around the world.
Amazing success stories.
The most amazing success story. And you'll see it when you go to the globalpriority.org site. Go to the resources. There's a little 2 or 3 minute video about what took place in Colombia. In Colombia, they had prison systems that were corrupt beyond our wildest dreams. One can only imagine with the level of cash commerce from the drug industry, the prisons were beyond control. And they would have a violent murder every day.
In the prison.
In the prison. And the general got turned on to this project by a lady who was a psychologist that worked in the prison, but happened to have heard Jerry speaking somewhere here in the States. And she brought the material down to this guy, and this general realized that we cannot change our prisons by getting more guns. We have to change our prisons by changing the way we think, with our brain and with our heart.
Change your thoughts, change your results.
That's it. That's exactly it. So, this material was brought into the prison, and within a short period of time, we're talking less than a year, they started to see radical transformation. And it's not because it started with the prisoners. It started from the top down. The general said, it starts with me. Then it goes to my inner circle. Then it goes to my guards and the warden and all the people. It got to the point where the prisoners were saying, I want some of that, what those guys have, because it transformed those guards in the way the guards were taking care of the prisoners. Then it expanded, leverage, went back to the homes, that people's homes were radically transformed.
So the process is you take one principle of the week, you take one principle such as pressure, there's temper, there's prosperity, there's restraint.
Yeah. parameters, hard work, honesty, integrity. Whoops, that's a different topic in there. All these different principles, and you'll see them on the website. And you simply take a small handful of people, a group, under 10 people, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, get around the table once a week, 1 hour.
Once a week, 1 hour, less than 10 people, one principle.
And you'll see that when the way it works is the first person in the circle would read that first paragraph out loud and underline what speaks to their heart.
Let's read that one out loud. You want to read it again?
I got to look at that with these lights. Okay, we're in the topic of pressure. And the subtitle is Pressure. Without pressure, there won't be any progress. We all should live under pressure. How about that for a thought? All right? But that should not be confused with living under personal stress. There are two types of leaders, proactive and reactive. A proactive leader looks ahead to know what is coming in the future and makes plans accordingly. He puts himself and others under pressure to achieve the goals and to avoid the disaster. A reactive leader answers to circumstances after the problems are created. How about that?
Yep.
This produces a leader who is overwhelmed and is overwhelmed and in a constant state of urgency and stress. There is a clear difference between pressure and stress. So if we just did that, and everything that was speaking out to you, and I said, John, what do you think about that?
I see that, what's occurring now is I see we're in an economy right now that we have a lot of leaders under stress and making urgent, stressful decisions, which is creating this economic turmoil.
Well,
is they're backdating stocks for 2 weeks because they're under an urgent mode.
That's right.
And it's
so
I would say that the next person would then give their point.
Each person gives their point, and then what happens is by the time you get to the end of this and 1 hour into it, there's a little self-reflection that one would rate themselves in their.
And it's only 2 sheets too. By everyone, they can print this off on the net, right?
By simply registering on the site, they then get their own password to go into the site, go to these principles, download it, and use it. No cost. This is being done.
Yep.
This is being done for this very simple purpose.
Change lives again.
Change lives.
Fire it up.
It's not about a money transaction.
No, not at all.
It's just not about money.
And that's why everybody, once again, go to www.globalpriority.org, submit on the left-hand side. You'll see to submit your name and email, and you'll get a principle of the week. And this one we're discussing is pressure. And also for those people that want to start a Global Priority weekly event.
Download them and use them.
Download them and use them.
The purpose of it is that, okay? The significance comes with the power of the round table. Power of the round table works kind of this way, John, in that if we were to get together for 4 weeks in a row, and if we're close enough on the front end of that, we probably openly talk and share our heart. But if we weren't that close, 4 weeks into it, we have stopped talking at an intellectual level and started talking at a heart level.
That's right.
So if you're doing this with your peers in a work environment, you now start to hear a person's heart instead of their brain. You now start to understand what makes that person tick. You understand why they answer the phone that way. Or you understand why they do what they do. And all of a sudden, you have a different work environment.
And then